Well, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone. The last time I did a video without a drink in my hand, somebody said something about it in the comments. So I'm gonna make sure that I have a drink in my hand for every video. It could be coffee, but in this case, it's not, because it's a short week for most people this week. Thanksgiving is this weekend, right? Keweenaw Brewing Company, Ordock Scottish Ale. This stuff is really, really good. Michigan, because I used to live in Michigan. So let's talk about this time of year, shopping time of year. Beginner guitar players, going to be a lot of beginner guitar players, and I'm really stoked about that. Like, that's the fun part about this time of year, because you know, the end of the year, we'll do a couple of top 10 video things at the end of the year, that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about gifts for guitar players. This could be for a beginner guitar player. This could be for an expert guitar player. I'm going to give you a few of them at a few different price points so that you can kind of have everybody covered. The things that I'm picking for this list aren't just the latest, coolest things. I think that they give a guitar player good value. Like, whether you're a beginner or an expert, every one of these things, I don't want to say expert, the person that's been playing a long time, right? I really feel like each of these things could give you value, no matter your playing experience. Even some of the more expensive stuff, the value wouldn't be lost on somebody who was a beginner. Just an all-around good list. So we're going to do this at a couple of different price points. I think the first price point is going to be, you know, under that $20, under that, I think it's under 50, under that $50 mark. So the first thing we're going to talk about is everybody has to have a good tuner. Now, everybody wants to use snarks. I'm not a fan, never have been a fan, but this Korg Pitch Clip 2, I really like. We did a video on it a few months ago, or maybe last year, I don't remember, a little while ago, and I really, really like that tuner. It's basic, you know, it's just you clip it on, you turn it on, and you go, and it doesn't matter which way it's flipped. You can just use it. It's just an easy one, and I think it's under a $20 bill, if I recall. It works great. It tilts, it moves, it tunes, and I've been a Korg tuner fan for a very, very long time. Okay, the next thing, I think this is under $30, is it's a guitar chart, okay, a chord chart. Now, I know that this sounds a little bit kind of underwhelming as a like top 10 or however many there are on this list. I don't remember how many stuff you should buy for a guitar player, but I think a chord chart is handy for even a more seasoned, more experienced guitar player, because we get away from the fundamentals of guitar playing a lot of times when we're trying to learn somebody's song. But my dad always told me when I was a kid, like, if you learn the fundamental stuff, you'll be able to play everybody else's song. So having a good chord chart hanging on your wall, I think, is a good thing. Or, you know, one in your phone, or something that you have, you know, taped to the back of a folder or the back of who knows what, but keep it around. And so I think that's really important. All right, so keeping us under 50 bucks is a couple of really important things. You hear me talk all the time on this channel. Hang on, beer sip. Somebody asked me if I breathed in these videos a couple weeks ago. I do. Between sips and main points. I just edit them out. So the next thing, Cruise Tools Toolkit. You hear me talk about it, and I know that a lot of people are just going to say, well, I can just go to Harbor Freight and assemble a bunch of tools and I can have just as good of a guitar kit. Maybe, but I think you're going to spend more money and you're going to have a more unnecessary stuff laying around. It's not going to be as compact to travel, and you're going to miss something someday. And this is a complete kit that you can throw in your guitar case, have with you all the time. I have one right now, right inside there with a guitar. So I think it's really important to have a guitar repair kit, because setups, adjustments, string changes, all that kind of stuff, it's going to happen at the least expected time, and you're going to want to be able to do it. So make sure that you do have a toolkit. The next thing is, sounds kind of funny, but I really, really feel like an Irig 2, I think every guitar player should have one of these. And I know that it's a little, again, underwhelming for somebody who might be more experienced or have a whole studio. But you know, having an Irig 2 in your backpack or in your guitar case, and be able to plug it into your phone with no amp? Like, what if you have a guitar, you're sitting in an airport, you don't have an amp, a riff just hits you out of the middle of nowhere, and you want to record that riff. You pull this little tiny thing out of your pocket or out of your guitar case, and you plug it into your iPhone, and boom, or your Android or whatever, and boom, you recorded that idea. That idea was not lost, and like a couple years later, like you're at the top of the charts, like you're ruling it, because you took the time to actually record it and spend a few bucks to have that thing with you all the time. Yeah, you're not going to be able to produce a record with an Irig 2, although I know people have. You know, it's just something that you can use to get ideas down when you have them. And I think that's really, really important. The next thing, so we're going to go up here. I think this is going to be under $100, is this Amazon version of a wireless system. Again, for those of you who have been playing for a really long time, you may think this is a little underwhelming. However, if you've never messed with wireless, now's your chance to try for like under $100. I think everything's getting better, and I know that back in 1997 or 87 or 77 or 67, I tried wireless and it sucked. Well, it's 2019. Things have changed. Stuff is better, and it is cheaper. And so at least to give it a shot, I think it's a good idea. It's a good gift, right? It's a good gift. Next thing, back to the recording thing again. Spontaneity and being able to record. We just did a video on this a couple weeks ago, and I am impressed with it. I've been using it. What is this thing called? This Audio-Technica AT2005 USB. It's an XLR microphone, dynamic mic. Doesn't need phantom power. You can plug it straight into a computer with an interface with the XLR, or you can use the USB. I think it is fantastic. I just love the idea of, again, with an acoustic guitar or your voice or podcast, to be able to capture it right then. One of the things we've been working on, my wife and I together on some projects, is to make sure that we have the possibility of being able to spontaneously record and get an idea down, whether that's for a podcast, whether that's for a blog, whether that's for a video, whatever. But in the guitar playing context, I think it's super key to be able to get those ideas down. I think too many people concentrate so much on all this other technical garbage and forget that we're creating, right? We're creating. Super cool. So let's go up a notch, okay? And let's talk about Focusrite. So the thing about Focusrite, I've got a Focusrite in there. I've got a 6i6. I love it. I use it for my Kemper because it's got the Spitif stuff. But the kit I'm showing you right now, all inclusive. If you want to kind of go all in with this recording thing, but not all in like a recording studio, you're still a bedroom player, you're still a hobbyist, you're still a weekend player, but you want to step it up. Have some good preamps, have the possibility for some more flexibility. This Focusrite 2i2, the 3rd gen little kit that they've got here is pretty killer. Anything from podcasts to acoustic guitars to keyboards to electric guitar, you know, Kemper, anything you can record with this thing. Super cool, man. I love it. I love it. I think it's great. All right, the last thing, and I know this is a little extravagant, but man, let me set the stage. You play guitar. You like your guitar and you want to show it to people. Or you want to have your guitar convenient for you, hanging in the living room so that you can play. But you don't want to drill holes in the wall. Your wife says, you can keep a guitar out here, but those stands are so ugly. Or you like taking pictures of guitars for Instagram and you can't stand how ugly stands are. There are many reasons why you should get a Zither Music Company guitar stand. Yes, I know it is more expensive than a regular guitar stand. No, it does not tip over. It looks like it would, but it does not. And I think that it's really cool. I have 2 of them. I absolutely love them. On this whole list, this is the only thing that was given to me as a gift. Everything else I had actually bought with my own money. I actually own every one of the things that we talked about today. And I actually have 2 of these. And one of them, no, both of them were given to me as gifts. And I really appreciate those gifts because I really like them. You can take photos of your guitar and it like hides behind there. It's a nice piece of furniture looking thing, so you can put it in your living room. I just really dig it. Anyway, hey, you know what? it's that kind of season. Everybody's shopping. Everybody's thinking about other people or maybe themselves. Maybe you want to buy yourself something cool. I always am down for thinking of stuff that will practically and, you know, like practically improve somebody's life. And I think all these things that we just talked about will do that for a guitar player on one level or another. None of them would be a waste. None of them would be a gimmick that they wouldn't ever use. You know, they'd be constantly useful, even if you were a beginner or if you were a more seasoned player. Every one of these things would be useful to you in some way at some point. And so that's why I picked them. I thought they were cool. I don't know how many they are. I'm sure the number of them will be put into the thumbnail. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for following our channel. We're going to do a couple things like this at the end of 2019 because we want to make sure that you're getting the most value out of what we do. If you have questions or anything, put it in the comments below. For those of you that have not subscribed, hit that button. That would be awesome. For those of you that have newly subscribed, thank you so much, and thanks for hanging out. And let me know how we can help you. And I hope you have a good short week. Go have a beer or whatever it is you like to drink after work. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.